So as you all know, a Nintendo Partner Direct just released on YouTube on Wednesday morning, and while it's not as great as last year's Nintendo Direct, there are still a few standouts that caught my attention. Let's begin. First off, remember on my last Switch watch about Xbox first-party titles coming to the Switch? Well, I'll go ahead and mention one of them, Grounded. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment and released on April 16th, this Xbox One title has been downscaled for the Switch hardware. Players must learn to survive a harsh world that happens to be their own backyard. Play solo or with a friend. Sure, it's not Hi-Fi Rush or the Halo Master Chief Collection, but it's a nice start. Second off, for fans of Ender Lilies Quietus of the Night, a sequel has been confirmed. Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. Due out later this year, you play as Lilac, whose goal is to journey to the land of fumes and discover the truth about the homunculi. While the story differs from Ender Lilies, the gameplay remains the same as the original game. You know, it's rather ironic that the sequel to Ender Lilies is most likely to release sooner than Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, for anyone who's never heard of Unicorn Overlord, this is a tactical RPG from Atlus and Vanillaware, almost similar to Sega's Shining Force and Nintendo's Fire Emblem. You will journey across Febref's 5 kingdoms as the Prince in Exile, Elaine, who vows to bring down the Zenoria Empire. This game uses a combination of 2D sprites in a 3D world that just looks gorgeous. But you don't have to wait long. Unicorn Overlord will release on March 8th. Furthermore, if you're curious, you can check out the demo in the eShop when you have the chance. By the way, did you miss out on Shin Megami Tensei 5 on Nintendo Switch? Well, Atlus has announced a new re-release of the game, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. In addition to the entire game and the Canon of Creation, players will also gain access to an alternative story called the Canon of Vengeance. This re-release will include every bit of DLC from the original. Expect this release on June 21st. Now, can we get the complete Shin Megami Tensei 4 from the Nintendo 3DS onto the Switch? Speaking of which, the next titles that I will talk about are remasters of games from older systems. And you know I have a bias towards these kind of games. The first of which is Monster Hunter Stories from the Nintendo 3DS, Android, and iOS. Released this summer, the original that started this Monster Hunter spin-off will feature enhanced graphics and the inclusion of voice acting for the first time. You know, beside this, we all could benefit from Monster Hunter 3 and 4 on Nintendo Switch. Capcom, take notes. The second remastered title that's coming out is one that I didn't expect to appear on Nintendo Switch. Epic Mickey Rebrushed, a remaster of the Nintendo Wii cult classic from Warren Spector, which also marked the return of Walt Disney's other iconic creation, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Expect this game later this year. If anything, it doesn't matter how good or bad an older game is. Let these games come back into the limelight and let the public decide for themselves if they like it or not. Better than to let games like these fade away from the public eye. The third remastered game I'm talking about, or rather the third and fourth, are Star Wars Battlefront 2004 and 2005. Every bit of content from both games will be present, alongside former Xbox exclusive characters, Jedi Master Kit Fisto, and the apprentice of Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress. Furthermore, up to 64 players will be able to join in on the fun, and you don't have to wait long, as this game will be out on March 14th. Sure, the graphics are dated, but what matters the most is how much fun you can get out of these games. Now, as someone who has played Sword Art Online Hollow Realization, though the Japanese version only, I am a bit surprised by the announcement of Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. These kind of games play similar to the Dot Hack series, but this game will also feature co-op quests and boss raids of up to 20 other people. This game is due out later this year, but you can try out a closed beta test from March 11th to the 17th. Now, will Bandai Namco please release the old school Dot Hack games for the Nintendo Switch? After all, .hack.gu isn't enough, and I've been waiting a long time for the older ones to come in. This next game isn't meant to be any monkey business, but after the success of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, it seems Super Monkey Ball is coming back with an all-new game called Banana Rumble. Unlike the last two Monkey Ball games on the Switch, this is an all-new title with up to 200 stages, 4-player local co-op, and 16-player online multiplayer. You won't have to wait long because Banana Rumble is due out on June 25th. Now that's a way to monkey around. Okay, enough monkey puns. For those of you who are fans of the puzzle game World of Goo, you're in luck. World of Goo 2 has been confirmed for Nintendo Switch alongside the PC. I mean, I've got to be honest, it's been 15 years since World of Goo released, and it's been 7 years since this game released on Nintendo Switch. Man, how time flies! But enough talk about time flying. If you're itching to check out the sequel to this cult classic, you won't have to wait long, as it will release on May 23rd. If we're lucky, we may even get World of Goo 3. Hope it doesn't take 15 years. From the creators of Sonic Mania come an all-new 3D platformer, Penny's Big Breakaway. Out now on Nintendo Switch and other platforms, you must guide Penny through the world of Macaroon, escaping the penguin army of Emperor Eddie. You know, it's becoming rare to see companies try to take chances with new ideas. Regardless if they succeed or fail, it's better that they do it than to do nothing at all. Sometimes you have to jump in and give it a shot. Speaking of out now, the Switch Online has expanded its collection by 5 games, all from Rare. Snake, Rattle and Roll, RC Pro-Am, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs, Killer Instinct, and Blast Corps. If you have a Switch Online account, be sure you give them a playthrough, though I do wish these games can be bought to be played permanently without an online account. And finally, Endless Ocean, a game franchise that hasn't been seen since the Wii days, returns with an all-new title, Endless Ocean Luminous. Explore the veiled seas of the South Pacific Ocean, document the various marine life, and even join with up to 30 online players to embark on an undersea adventure. And good news, you don't have to wait long. Endless Ocean Luminous is due out on May 2nd. Oh, I almost forgot. Ninja 5.0 is getting a Nintendo Switch release. While this game was not on display during the partner showcase, Konami was able to reveal it in a separate video with limited run games handling the physical release. No word on the release date, but with games like Felix the Cat and Rocket Knight gaining a Switch port, it may not be that long. Maybe we'll get a Goemon collection. Maybe. As we count down to the end of the Nintendo Switch era, the one thing that has warmed my heart is seeing more older games come to the system. And it's a given considering that we're approaching the beginning of the end for the system. But hey, only time will tell what else will hit the Nintendo Switch before its successor comes out. Anyway, on Tuesday, we will get a new Nintendo Direct related to the Pokemon franchise. My fingers are crossed that it's one of the older titles remade on the Switch. Till then, I'm switching on out of here.